When it comes down to it, our everyday actions and results are predetermined by our habits. Because they are consistent and often unconscious decisions, habits make up the bulk of who we are. Fortunately, for those of us who want to become more effective at the everyday things we do, the habits that I'm about to share with you can be learned and integrated into your life. Here are 7 habits shared in the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, by Stephen Covey. To begin with, habits 1 through 3 are about becoming more independent. Habit number 1. Be proactive. To be proactive is to take responsibility for your own life. If you often think to yourself thoughts such as, they don't like me, the economy is so bad right now, that's their fault, then you're probably more reactive than proactive. Things seem to simply happen to you because you're focusing on things that are out of your control. We all have our own problems and concerns, whether they're about what other people think about you, politics, the weather, or the economy. This is known as our circle of concern. We also have a circle of influence within this circle of concern. These are concerns that we have more control over, such as health, education, and relationships. Instead of worrying about what some troll on the internet thinks about you, or how gloomy the weather is, or how successful other people are, you should be focusing on the things inside your circle of influence. Focus on the foods you eat, the books you read, and the friends you make. Those are the aspects of your life that you should really be putting your energy into. Start by identifying what you can or can't control. Then, make some small commitments to things that you can change, such as not eating as much fried food or reading a book every week. Over time, your circle of influence will expand, and the problems in your circle of concern won't seem like a big deal anymore. Habit number 2. Begin with the end in mind. This means knowing where you are headed in life. You also need to understand where you are now, so you can take the next step in the right direction. Otherwise, you'll just be wandering aimlessly. Do you know where you want to be in 5 or even 10 years? If not, you need to set yourself with a clear goal that you can make progress towards. The best way to start is to create a personal mission statement. This describes who you want to become and what you want to do. Be sure to focus on the right things in order to retain a sense of who you are and what you value. Your mission statement should be based on the correct principles. If you focus on things such as money and fame, your self-esteem will be bound to take a hit in the ups and downs of the economy. People who are centered around money often put aside family or friends, assuming that everyone also thinks that money is as important. This isn't always the case, so we can damage important relationships by thinking this way. Chasing after leisure and taking paths of least resistance will result in a rather unfulfilled life. It may take a few seconds to a few weeks to fully write out your mission statement, but having it down on paper is the first step to achieving your purpose. Dream big, and don't let self-doubt prevent you from achieving what you want. The third habit is to put first things first. Ask yourself this: what's the most important thing in your life? It's probably your family, significant other, school, or even your health. It's not checking Facebook or Instagram, or playing video games all day. What is one thing you could be doing right now, which you aren't, that if you did it regularly, would make a huge difference for your business or personal life? Whether it's calling more clients, improving your product, or spending more time with loved ones, there's bound to be things you're not doing enough of. On the flip side, list out the bad habits and addictions in your life. You want to know what's wasting your time and what you can replace in order to be moving forward in life and really focus on the things that matter. You might think of using traditional methods of managing your time, such as making to-do lists or block scheduling, but you might be focusing on the wrong tasks. Distractions may also pop up and ruin your schedule. Instead, you should sort out your tasks by urgency and importance in order to really get your priorities straight. You can get an idea of what you should be focusing on by looking at the time management matrix from Stephen Covey's book. Activities in Quadrant 1 are important and urgent. These are things you must do, like emergencies or upcoming deadlines. Do these as soon as possible and manage them well. Otherwise, you're going to stress yourself out. Quadrant 2 activities are important and not urgent. These include relationships, health, and planning. You want to be focusing on Quadrant 2 because that's where success and fulfillment is created. Quadrant 3 activities are not important and urgent. These are things such as interruptions, some emails, and some meetings. To focus on Quadrant 2 more, you want to outsource your work in Quadrant 3 to other people. Quadrant 4 activities are not important and not urgent. You want to avoid these time wasters, such as playing video games, watching Netflix, or checking junk mail. When you're on the brink of dying, you're not going to be wishing that you had spent more time at your job or playing video games. You're more likely to wish that you had worked on your personal growth or spent more time with your family. Focus on what's really important to you and make that your #1 priority. Next up, habits 4 through 6 are about becoming interdependent. Instead of just being able to think for yourself, you'll learn how to work with others as a team. Habit number 4, think win-win. A lot of people mistake business as a zero-sum game. They may think that to succeed, they have to be better than their competition at all costs, even if it means sabotaging them. While you do want to stand out and either have a better product or a more unique one, there are better ways to accomplish this. You need to have an abundance mindset and understand that there is plenty of success to be made for everybody. By recognizing this, you'll open many doors for yourself and see that the possibilities for growth and success are nearly limitless. For example, let's say you're making a YouTube channel on gaming. If you kept talking poorly about other similar YouTube channels, hoping that people would only watch your videos, you would hurt your reputation and potentially lose subscribers. Instead, if you were to seek to collaborate with another channel, their subscribers might become interested in your channel, and your subscribers might become interested in theirs as well. Nearly no one is inclined to only watch one single channel. Ultimately, both of you gain even more exposure and grow together. This is the power of thinking win-win. Habit number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. For us to understand someone, we have to listen to them. However, you need to listen with the intent to understand. This is called empathic listening. To do this, you need to develop empathy. This is not the same as sympathy. Sympathy is a form of agreement or compassion, whereas empathy is putting yourself in the other person's shoes. When you try to understand someone's perspective, that person is more likely to trust you, and you'll be able to work out an agreement with them afterwards. For instance, if your friend says, "I hate this class," instead of simply giving them advice straight off the bat, or telling them that it's not so bad, start by reflecting their feelings. You can say something like, "This class is frustrating to you, and you don't enjoy it." By saying this, your friend knows that you're listening and understand how they're feeling. Because of this, they'll open up and be more receptive to any advice or solution you can offer. Habit number 6 is to synergize. Through synergy, we can create new solutions which are better and more creative. It's like the phrase goes, "The whole is greater than the sum of its parts." The basis of synergy is that even if two people disagree, they can both be right. Let's say you're hosting a meeting to get new ideas for the direction of your business. If everyone says the same thing and agrees with each other to avoid hurting anyone's feelings, you'll end up with one single idea. However, if everyone contributes different ideas, you'll have tons of combinations to work with. A simpler way to look at this is by looking at two sticks. By themselves, they can't support much. Put them together in an X shape, and they create a much more stable structure. Habit number 7. Sharpen the saw. Let's say you walk by someone who is sawing down a tree, looking exhausted. You ask him, "How long have you been at it?" He replies, "It's been 5 hours. This is so difficult." You suggest, "Why don't you take some time to sharpen that saw? Then you'll cut down the tree much faster." He says, "I don't have time for that. I'm too busy sawing." This scenario might seem pretty ridiculous, but this is what we do all the time. Whether it's going to the gym for 30 minutes or reading a book for an hour, there's something that we neglect doing, even if we know that it's beneficial for us in the long run. Activities such as exercise and reading keep us physically and mentally fit, making us more efficient in the everyday things we do. There are 4 aspects that you should be focusing on. The first is physical, which includes exercise and nutrition. The second is mental, which includes reading and visualizing. The third is social, which is building and maintaining relationships. Finally, the fourth is spiritual, which includes meditation and understanding who you are and your purpose. These are all Quadrant 2 activities, as they are not urgent but important. You need to be proactive, as no one else can do these things for you. Sharpening the saw is the most important habit, as it's what makes all the other habits possible. Without spending the time to invest in yourself, it'll be difficult to consistently do the other habits. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can be the first to know when I release new ones. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.